Jake, welcome to the Nothing to Something podcast. How are you?
I'm great, bro. Yeah, thank you for having us on. Yeah, appreciate you.
No, thanks for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it. And just to set a bit of context here, we go way back to what seems like a former life now. A long, long time ago when we first met, uh, heavily into music, heavily into a different scene than we're into right now. And we've all progressed in different ways. So it'll be fantastic to catch up today, mate, see exactly where you're up to.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, and it's way back, man. It does seem like another life. Um, yeah, some amazing times, some long weekends, and I'm sure we'll dive into them along the way.
Yeah. For sure. Let's get into it. Right, we'll start off the way we start off, mate. So give the viewers a little insight. Who is Jake Rees?
Jake Rees is a spiritual being that's had many lives before this one, and incarnated now in this body to bring this new earth of consciousness from which is within all of us, which is heaven, into a felt lived reality wherever I go, through smiles, through hugs, through laughing, through dancing, through cooking, through doing anything at my heart's content, and trying to be connected to everyone, everywhere, wherever I go. Um, and that's kind of the insight. And on a identity level, with the jobs that I do, um, I'm a holistic coach. I run this beautiful community center that I'm so blessed to be a part of. I train in Reiki. We run festivals, events, anything health and wellness is my field, bro. So yeah, that's pretty much me in a roundabout way.
What an answer. What an answer. Love it, mate. It's a real identity. You are, you live it, you breathe it. Know that you're a person it's not just for the gram like a lot of people nowadays. You live and breathe what you do, and it's something that's really, really close to you, mate. So just before we move into the ins and outs, and there's a lot for us to go at here, Jake, let's just pitch it back a little bit. We said we met a long, long time ago, both had a massive love for music, very different to the paths that we're on right now. Sort of how did this journey come about? How have we, the short version of how we got from there to here? Because it's two very different Jakes.
Yeah, bro. Like I've been so blessed to meet you and your brother, and work with you in the music industry. We had some amazing nights together. We really set a pioneering in the house scene of an upmarket house events. Did the underground ones as well, and we just had a love for each other straight away, bro, and really connected. And I feel, that the music that you guys played, that 432 frequency, which 432 is a heart frequency, right? And I feel that was what brought, us together, brought the community together. And I've always loved bringing community and people together in my human design. I'm a manifester, so that's my numerology as a blueprint for my date of birth. So as a manifesto, we love to speak to a lot of people. We love to gather people and then just create a really beautiful container for people then to enjoy themselves in that space. And right then, where I was at in my life, it was music, some crazy substances, which I know opened my mind up to different dimensions and different things at that time that I didn't know whether it was real or not, but I knew that I felt something and knew that there was more to this life. So that was, a really positive way of connecting with people as well. You'd sit in after parties and all your inhibitions would just go and you'd just be having like a really heartfelt conversation and all mask would just drop and you get really connected to people. So I've always had the element that, you can call it spiritual, you can call it a deeper connection, love, consciousness, whatever it is. And then I realized along the party scene, a lot of people's mental health started to deteriorate, physical health. I've seen a lot of people struggling in different ways. And I got sucked into that myself, not as deep as some of my good friends. But I've always felt like a person who could listen and, would sit and hold space. And about 10 years ago, You said the short version, but I'm going to go in, bro. about
Yeah,
10
go
years,
for it, man.
about 10 years ago, I had a near-death experience at a festival down south. And cut a long story short, I basically come out of my body. I took LSD. And just a quick insight to LSD. LSD crystallizes in your liver and it opens a part of your brain, your consciousness, which can't be closed back down. And I know that Steve Jobs took this. And I know that when you go for a lot of high up jobs within, say, the powers that be, so to speak, which aren't powers that be, the only powers that be if you decide to give our power to these people, when you get to a certain job and they test you for this substance, you can't have the job. Or if you get to a sergeant major in the army, they don't allow you to have this job because a part of your brain's been opened, but you can't be controlled. So, cut a long story, I went into the earth on a trip, and I was like, at the time, what is going on here? Where am I? This is strong. You know what I mean? This is a big dose. And I met a lot of my ancestors, and they were just giving me messages basically, saying, remember who you are. To the true essence, the true core of your soul. When all this falls away, all this facade, who are you at your core? From then on, I come back and I was a changed person. They actually showed me a soul contract, bro. They said, do you sign this contract before you come to earth? And this is what you're meant to be doing. They showed me two paths. They showed me a path of sirens and they showed me the police. They showed me a path of like light and like it was like a windy path. And then I come back the next week and I did all closing events to the house events. I said, I'm closing them down, going away to find myself, to meditate. People thought I was going mad. My friends were like, he's changed. He's mental. I remember I was sat in the pub at half time on a United match and I just stood up and I was like, I'm getting off. It was like, where are you going? I said, I'm just going to go on a walk. I'm going to go out in nature. I just feel drawn to nature. And I was just like, listen, mate, we're 2-0 down here. Let's get a pack of quavers and a pint. Be sweet. So I just totally changed, bro, but it was hard. Callie! Sorry, dog, come here.
No, it's okay, man. It's okay.
We're just in the centre. See you later, Nash. I'm just on the phone, bro. Yeah, chat tomorrow. Sorry about that, bro.
Yeah, I'll go.
So basically, yeah, I changed. It was hard for other people to accept the way that I was changing because I was used to the old me. But I wasn't really changing. I was just becoming the person I was always meant to be. And then through growing up and through certain situations and people that I grew up with, and as you know, things like the subconscious mind programming and conditioning, we adapt to our environments and we wear certain masks to fit into these situations, to wanting to be liked, to wanting to be accepted, and then I just got to the point where I'm just like, I don't really care who likes me now. I'm just going to be the person that I like and that I love and do the things that I want to do with my life. And then I started to gather people in a more healthy way, doing sober raves, holistic healing, Reiki. And then, yeah, that was the transition, bro. And, it was tough. First 2 years were tough, man.
Powerful. Very, very powerful, Jake. Yeah, as I say, we go way back to before any of that. And to hear that was sort of a turning point for you. You talk about pivotal moments. That's insane. I didn't know that about you. Every day's a school day. I've learned something new there, mate. It sounds like that was a real life-changing moment for you. In terms of, you just said there, you didn't care anymore. You felt compelled to go to nature, and you putting yourself first. How empowering was that? Was it like a weight off?
Oh, bro. I'll give you just another scenario. These stories are happening every week. So I used to wear all designer gear. So I still wear some stuff now. I used to have it all in my room and glasses and shades and scarves. And something was calling me to put all this into a bin bag. So I was clearing my room out. And it was like decluttering my room. I left it in the garage. One night, I got this. It's called channeling, right? So channeling is bringing energies through into your body. So this is how people connect to spirit. This is Yeah, how basically you like a TV remote, you press a channel on the TV and then the channel changes. So you can plug into different channels basically in the universe is the most simple way to put it. And I got this message to go out, and this message, I was just being guided. It was protecting me, and it was saying, walk this path no matter what anyone says and have faith, and you're going to come out the other side. And I had this bin bag over my shoulder. And then I was decluttering. I was getting out in nature. And I remember it's asked me to, I thought, where am I taking this bag? And then it was just like guiding me to throw it in this dumpster. Must have had about 3 grand's worth of stuff in there, bro. And I just like threw it in. And as I threw it in, I just felt this opening in my heart. And I was just looking up, it was raining. And I was just feeling so connected. I just was like, just feeling guided, walking into the unknown, but with total faith. And basically, bro, I lost all my money. I lost everything. Like I lived in town, lived in the skyline, you know, I had all this facade, you know, which I had to unprogram myself from. But the universe pulled it all from me. I remember I didn't even have enough money to get on the bus to go to town. And I had to jump on the Met to get to town because I didn't even have enough money to do that. But since it stripped me to my bare bones and it was just plugging me out into nature, doing all the things that were free, that not been created by the Matrix, that was what was healing. I didn't need anything else. It was showing me when you've got nothing, now who are you? With nothing, no facade, no nightclub events, no nothing to pad yourself out with on social media. Who are you at your bare bones with nothing? You know, and that was like the rebuilding and reinventing of myself. So to say it, bro, it was the word is it was a freedom of the mind, liberation of the soul is how it felt.
Wow, mega. Absolutely mega. And it's got to be a hard thing. I'm just trying to put myself in your shoes there. So at this stage where you're having this all sort of, it's like a subconscious voice that's directing you, or a feeling that's directing you in which way you're going to take your life. I'm just talking about, you talked about you threw a load of stuff out there, designer gear, etc. By this stage, were you detached from your own life enough that that wasn't an issue? Because I'd have got to the bin and I'd have thought, there's a lot of expensive stuff in there. Like, let me just hang on a minute. Do you know what I mean? So you must have been at a certain place mentally, and you must have believed in the new path that you were going on to such an extent that you didn't have a problem getting rid of the old, even if it was expensive, as if you can call that sort of material stuff expensive.
Yeah, bro, it was like a detachment of material things, of material, because it showed me it was like my armor. So it said, you wear this armor so that you feel that you fit into society. So I wore these Louboutin shades, these Alexandra McQueen scarves, all these beautiful things that, you know, I still will wear in a respectful way these days. But that time, it was just stripping them from me to say, these aren't you. And there was resistance there. Do you know, when I was throwing under, I was just like, nah, I can't throw all this in there. I was just like, and then when I'd done it, then it just like activated a part of my heart chakra. And it was just was like, and I was looking up. I must have looked up for about 5 minutes at the stars and the universe. And God was just saying, I've got you. Let go of that. I've got you. Trust me and trust this feeling and spirit, and we will never lead you astray. And it was just like a really big lesson for me, just to let. Sometimes you have to let go of things in our life that are holding us back, that we feel a part of us, but really they're holding us down. And then letting go of them actually allows us to propel further into the future. You know,
Hmm.
of a higher version of who we're always becoming.
No, love it, love it. It's extremely intriguing to me, Jake. I'm not going to lie. So I am in touch with the holistic or the well-being side, which we'll get into in a second. I'm also someone who's very driven and very structured through probably the other side of life. Some would argue that's been instilled into us over time to sort of be successful. You need to do certain things, fit into a certain hat, and meet certain criteria. So there's a bit of a balance to be found there, which should take me into a point I was going to cover in a bit. We'll touch on now. So totally feel what's gone on with yourself there. Unreal story. You've obviously been on this crazy spiritual journey that's brought you to some sort of enlightenment. To your average person, Can you see how all this looks a little bit woo, is what they call it, isn't it?
Yeah,
And a
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
like, yeah, and they'll zone out when they hear certain things being said or the way certain things have happened. What modern day society is not geared towards allowing us to find enlightenment, is it? I think that's what I'm getting at. So, what any message for the average person? How do you find the balance between normality, as a normal person might call their life, and bringing in these bits of spiritual enlightenment and holistic therapy and that sort of thing?
You know, that's why I always try and break things down into simple forms and examples for people, um, because everyone's heart has their own experience of their life, and everyone's mind has their own experience, and no one will ever fully understand anyone else's experience. All you can do is build a bridge and paint a picture, and allow people to take the things that resonate and dismiss the things that don't. So one thing that I would offer to anyone that's wanting to know more about this journey or wanting to um, develop their ways of spirituality or holistics is start with simple practices like, breath work. Breath work for me has changed my life. When someone said to me, breath work activates natural DMT within your lungs, I was like, get out of here, natural DMT in my lungs. When someone said to me they're going to put their hands on me and do Reiki healing, I was just like, that's hocus pocus, mate. Keep your hands to yourself. And then I remember the first time I got Reiki, I'd been an alpha male from a council estate. I was never really in touch with my emotions fully to cry or anything like that. And I'd see that as a weakness. Um, and then when he put his hands on me, one of my mates just hovered them over my head and around me. Um, I just burst out into tears. I was just like, "Ras, bro, what have you just done to me?" And just from
Hmm.
then, I knew that I was sold. So one thing that I'd say to people is once you experience something or you feel something, try it, give it, just try things. Because once you feel something, you can't unfeel it. Once you experience something, you can't unexperience it. It changes you. So once that
Hmm.
Reiki changed me and shifted me, and I was like, this is real. I was like, okay, well, if this is real, then what else is real? So then that kind of got me onto the path of, okay, I'm going to just try it. I've come from partying. I want more peace in my life. I want more health. I want more wellness. I want to be a better person for my family. I want to make my mum proud. I want to, be a better person. So what have we got to lose? Let me just try some things. Let me try breath work. Let me try cold water dipping. Let me try Reiki. Let me try sound healing. And then when I open myself to be susceptible, because on this journey, one thing that I would say is seeing isn't believing. It's more so believing, first of all, then you see more. So it's always an internal job.
Powerful that, powerful that, because that's the old cliche, isn't it? You got to see to believe, or seeing is believing. So to hear that the other way around. But mate, I'm so intrigued by all this stuff. I think of myself as a very open-minded person as it is. I personally have had Reiki once. It was testament to yourself and your team when you came across to one of the gyms and when we held an event a good few years back now. Um, and yeah, I definitely felt something. I definitely felt something. And when it was over, I stood up very shakily. And probably wobbled around a little bit to the naked eye and felt like I was on some crazy high. I could probably feel my heartbeat throughout my whole body. So there's something there. I agree that you can certainly feel something there. The flip side of that, and I've got a friend who's very close to me who tried Reiki, and I don't think he quite got the concept. And he said he had a massage and it didn't touch him. He was waiting to be touched and his muscles rubbed and stuff like that. So there's a vast difference there, mate. With those sort of two perspectives in mind, do you feel, Jake, that you've got to be in a certain place to enable to take these things on? Can anybody jump into holistic therapies and see the real benefits of them, or have you got to be open minded? Have you got to be a certain stage in your life or a certain mindset to be able to take that on board?
That's a good question, Bo. And I feel, it's subjective to what holistic therapist and therapies that you do. For example, if you do Reiki or if you do breath work, like if I got someone in here, like every Thursday we do a sound bath with breath work. And what's been amazing is some of the people over time have started to bring the partners, because they've started to change, they've started to feel the benefits. And then they're like, oh, my boyfriend or my girlfriend or my mum, my dad, my gran, my daughter, my son, I'd love them to come, but they're not open-minded. So I say just bring them on a Thursday, because simply on a Thursday, you just lying, receiving, you breathe in for 10 minutes and you're doing the sound, and then you'll have people going around doing a bit of energy healing. So when you breathe, so breath work, and you start to open the capillaries in your lungs that you don't usually use. And then after, say, 5 minutes of a good breathing, it starts to activate DMT in your lungs. And then you start to have a euphoric feeling. So in science, the auric field, which goes from the top of our head round into our bodies, your auric field, for example, if you were sat in a room and we had our headphones on like this and someone was behind you, without them touching you, you kind of feel that someone was there, because you feel the aura is there. So you kind of turn around and you feel someone's watching you. It's like that sixth sense that you have. So then what happens on the breath work, because your auric field starts to expand, and then people may start to release trauma from, the childhood. They might start to see things, and instantly then when they experience that, they're like, this is real. And then we go into the sound bath and you feel the crystal bowls that we've got here and like the gong. You feel them vibrations in your body, and it starts to shift the body so much. And afterwards, people come up out of the sound bath and you can see it in the face. Some people have lost 5-10 years in a session like that. The face are just, all that stress has just come out of them. Their eyes are really white. And they're like saying to the partner, I get it now. They're like saying, I get why you've been coming here for how many years. And there's nothing more beautiful than to see someone that they really care about, gifting them their health and wellness on a spiritual or holistic journey. You don't even have to be spiritual. It can just be self-development or, just becoming a greater version of yourself. So I just say, try things and be open to the possibilities, because it's like if you give someone a remote and you just say, look, there's 2 buttons on there. You've got 2 channels to choose from. Or you say to someone, yeah, there's a Sky remote. Choose any channel you want. There's infinite channels on there. You'd rather choose the one with infinite channels and be able to choose whatever you like, try the different ones, rather than just, I'll try that or that. If it don't work, I'm not going to do it again. So, everyone's got their own thing that works for them and their own practice. And I would say discover what works for you and try different ones.
Mega. No, thanks for that, mate. And seriously powerful. Here's where we align again a little bit in sort of the coaching aspects. I think I shared something, it might have been this morning or maybe yesterday, along the lines of the greatest compliment you can ever get is somebody saying that you've changed their life for the better. When it's sort of coaching, mentoring, development, leadership, I'm all for. And it's powerful. It's powerful what you guys are doing over there. Sorry. So that's why we're on that. Talk us through what it's your different facets here, Jake. So we've got Illuminate. We've got you coach as well, don't you? You run events. You do healing yourself. Talk us through sort of a day to day, man, or month to month with yourself, because you've got a hell of a lot going on over there.
Yeah, so Illuminate started actually in this venue, and it's just a mad thing, bro, that I'll go into now. Just this thing about being guided. So Illuminate started as a sober rave in here, 2019 in August. 2 years ago, we were doing events in the forest. We started to move on to festivals, from sober rave 1-day events into retreats, into full weekend festivals out in the forest in Bolton. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, we've got people from all over the world that have been like flying in to do talks there, to run workshops. And we was doing the Women in the Forest. I think it was about the 5th event in the forest. I was online typing, and I was trying to put the date in for the forest to click the event live. Just kept saying void. It won't let me type the date in. I was like, that's a bit weird. So just before that event, a few years, we were using this venue. So I thought, oh, I'll type in a venue I've used previously just to make sure it's not the website that's void. Tapped in this venue, clicked it, it went boom, it went through straight away. And again, got that feeling in my heart. I was just like, wow, I thought I'm being guided back to this space. Midsummer, and I've had to say to the people at the forest who are amazing and really looked after us and really good friends of ours, I'm sorry, but we're being guided to change venue. It's like, where are you going to? So I was like, to Heaven and Earth in Manchester, in an indoor venue with a bit of a beautiful wellness garden. So everyone was like, I don't get it. Why are you changing from an outdoor festival in midsummer into an indoor venue? I said, I'm just trusting what I'm being guided to. Come to this venue, and then our good friend Sharon, when we arrived, said, I'm leaving the space. Are you ready to take over it? So I was like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, 5 years are up. I'm going to go traveling, writing books. I'm being guided to ask you to take over the space and be the guardian of the space. And if we want to come to the space that time and be moved and followed that sign, then we won't be here today, bro. And then over the 2 years, like an average month, every weekend, we do a lot of different events. Full moon festivals, we do medicine retreats, breath work, sound. Love working with the sound bowls, love the breath. It runs through my bones, man. It's like one of my favorite practices that I implement for myself and with others. Again, holistic coaching through the week, one-to-one stuff, couple stuff. And then different people will come and rent the space as well. We'll do concerts here, medicine concerts. So we have different singers that come from various parts of the world. We have the native tribes have been over. We've worked with the Maori tribe from New Zealand. We've worked with the Honeyquin tribe from South America. Got some, really, really honoured to work with these tribes and bring the wisdom and the teachings through. And yeah, we do different things. Like this weekend, we've got a Conscious Connections event, which is open to couples, singles, and people looking to love themselves more. Over 2 days, working on relationships, working on boundaries, working on empowerment, working on different ways to spice up your relationship or to draw in a partner that you want a soulmate. Done in a really fun but a deep, subconscious coaching way also. So we do that every full moon. We gather in on the full moon to do festivals, to do retreats. Every Thursday we do the sound and breath in here. We've got a retreat coming up next week in Mexico. So we're going over to Mexico for 2 weeks. And then we've got Portugal in August. And then we've got Bali in November. So, bro, I just couldn't tell you how blessed that I feel. To when you do work that you love like this, I can't even call it work, bro. I can just call it a blessing, and just keep following that guidance and keep being guided to serve. I don't think there's no greater service than to serve another human being, and in that you're serving yourself and you're serving the greater good.
100%, mate. Love that. Servant leadership.
Like yourself,
Big passion
bro.
of mine.
Yeah, you're like yourself, man.
No, massive passion of mine, man. There's so much fulfillment to come from serving others. But yeah, credit to what you've achieved, to what you've done. You've just talked about it there, how grateful you are. I think gratitude first. Gratitude's an absolutely major thing. And to be someone who's seen the sort of before and let's say during, not the after, because I'm sure you've got a direction you're moving in and we're not there yet. Congratulations, man, because it's massive. It's massive the move you've made and the
Yeah,
changes you made, not
thank
only to
you.
your own life, but to other people as well. Um, yeah, man. So, sort of moving away from that, we talked about it being a little bit woo among general society, some of the practices and the holistic type healing and the holistic health. It is becoming more and more popular. It is becoming more and more mainstream, which is fantastic for the likes of yourselves, who I see as a brand or a person that's at the forefront of it and has been for a long time. I see certain things on the telly, like the big celebrity detox. Um,
Yes.
when I see things like that, I think, yeah, that's it. I just put the two and two together. So talk to us about that, mate. What's your take and how's that come around?
and yeah, just to echo off the back of what you're saying, bro, like it's amazing to see holistic work going mainstream. You know, I think there's a lot of energy that's been pumped into pharmaceuticals to kind of keep people in that loop. You know, some of it is well needed, but I feel that there's a bridge being made now between the medical industry and the holistic industry. You know, I don't feel one's better than the other. I feel that there's a synergy being created together where there's a bridge being made between both of these where prevention is going to be better than cure. You know, if you break your arm, you're not going to go to a holistic practitioner. You know, you're going to need to go to the hospital to get a cast. You know, so there is certain balances between the way that we're looking after people on the planet. But I do feel holistic health is teaching from an early age how to look after ourselves, and rather than relying on the doctor. You know, doctors are there when we need them, but holistic health now, like it is going on to E4, is becoming a self where we are becoming our own doctors. You know, so when some people sit in a ceremony to me and they'll be like, oh, I have, you know, can I have cacao? I've got this, I've got that. And we're just like, well, you know, there's certain antidepressants and stuff like that it doesn't mix with. But if you're going to feed into your own body, or, you know, someone might be wanting to get pregnant or certain health conditions, and they're asking, like, I say, listen, I'm not a doctor. What do you feel? No one's had a baby yet that's grew with an arm out of its head or anything like that. Everyone's been pretty fine up to now. So it's like, what do you feel that you should do? So what we're trying to do is empower people to be their own doctors and think for themselves, because I feel this system's, it's really trying to disempower people away from just speak to the professionals. They just know you need to speak to a professional with in any industry. So I feel it's re-educated now from the ground up. And E4 was a great leap, I feel, in holistics going into mainstream, where you had a bunch of celebrities from all different walks of life who, first of all, I want to acknowledge the bravery and the courage from each of the celebrities, first of all, that actually signed up and said, I want to do this and I want to give it a go. One of my friends, the episode before me, did a Pinot Blanco ceremony. So Pinot Blanco is as a purgative medicine. So it's nuts that you eat, that you roast and eat, and then you're actually sick. So you physically, if there's any parasites or any negative energy or any trauma that's stored in your body, this medicine will actually scan your body, locate it, draw it to your stomach. You're drinking a lot of water while this is going on, and it will actually purge it out. So you can actually see the parasites or the pharmaceuticals or whatever that is in the bucket, and it leaves your body. It's very, very powerful. And then the next episode, I did an inner warrior activation. So it was a breath work, but with explosive movements. So explosing up. So I worked up the chakra system from the root chakra to the crown chakra. And it was an anger release. So anyone that was suffering with anger, it was a way to shake the bottle and start to slowly take the top off the anger and start to release some. And through that program, every celebrity had a breakthrough at some point, and it was Toby. I don't watch it as such, but I know that it was on the Love Island program, and he had a breakthrough on mine. He was very skeptical of any spiritual stuff at first before he come onto the program. And then when he felt that, and I said about the DMT activating, he was like, afterwards to Kerry. And Kerry's, to be fair to Kerry was really tuned in, and she wanted it a lot from the start, and she was quite a believer. And he opened up and said, I feel something in my body. Something's happened to me. It's like, I can't describe what it is, but I'm believing it now. I'm believing it. So, you know, to see celebrities being so vulnerable, going on TV, putting themselves through all kinds of things. I've never done this one, but I know they did this. They drank their own urine, did urine therapy, you know, which, I'll be honest, bro, it's not for me. But but to put yourself out there on live TV and to try these things, and for all of them to have a breakthrough at some point and to finish the program a better person is just really empowering these ancient practices into the modern day world for us to try and tap into. So, yeah, it's exciting times.
No, it really is. It really is, mate. And thanks for that insight. I think that's probably opened the gateway for a lot more people because they've seen celebrities doing it, people that they know from somewhere or another. From someone who's behind the scenes and who knows the therapies themselves, all legit. These breakthroughs that the guys are having, this is all legit. Obviously, it's on TV, so you have your skeptics, won't you? But it's all legit behind the scenes, mate. Yeah, and these people are making genuine breakthroughs.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, like um, each episode was a different practice. So that obviously, because there's been a lot of how can I say? There's been some real mental health issues with some of the reality TV shows, you know, from in the past, from the way things people have put online, from things that have been said. So I was very skeptical to even go on the show at first. I was questioning, you know, is it a negative concept? Is it people versus each other? Are people trying to get knocked out of the program? Is he a winner? Blah, blah, blah. They're just like, no, it's all positive. Everyone's in it together. Everyone's encouraging each other. And yeah, it's genuine. Like I literally wasn't allowed to speak to the people before my practice. I had a little chat with them afterwards, and we spoke on social media a little bit and stuff like that afterwards, and we're still in contact with some of them now. But no, there was really protected. They were just honed in on the practices, and it was as natural as possible. So they wouldn't let me speak to them before, so it was a natural meeting when I was meeting for the first time. So yeah, it's like fair play, mate, for the producers and everyone that was involved in that show. Really, really grateful to be a part of it and involved, and hopefully there's going to be more to come. That you know, you got people like the Wim Hof, people who are like, you know, taking superhuman experiences mainstream.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's intriguing. It really is intriguing to me. I'm someone who's open to see where it's going in the future. Now that's fantastic. A great insight there, Jake. So, in the direction we normally take the podcast in, I'll ask you about your why and your driver, which I think with yourself you've alluded to a little bit already with the fact that you're getting callings and you're being directed, and there's something more spiritual and something outside of yourself that's leading your direction. Are you happy? Do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel happy with the life that you've the path that you've gone down?
Bro, I feel happier than I've ever felt in my life. Um, but at the same time, I feel a bigger responsibility than I've ever felt in my life. So there's a bit of sweet with that, if I'm going to be honest. You know, it's I feel happy in the sense of purpose and where I am and what I'm doing. But I've always got to remember to look after myself as well, because I have a tendency to want to give so much to other people.
Mm.
And the last year has been a real lesson for me of how much, you know, I didn't go on a holiday or nothing like that for a while. I was just here, you know, and I was just building the events. But then the more that I've been able to leave, and I've built a beautiful team, not even a team, a family that we have here now, allows me to go away, recharge, connect with people outside in other countries, set things up there. And then the people that are coming into the space are actually empowering their gifts and talents, and all their greatness is being activated. And then I'm able to go away as well. So, yeah, I feel like I'm the happiest, but I feel still hungry and still on a mission. Like you said, it's never complete, you know, but I feel it in our lifetime now. And this calendar behind me here is it's the Mayan calendar. We're going over to Mexico to plug into the Mayan energy. And I'm not sure if you're aware, you possibly are, that about the Mayan calendar ended in 2012. And they predicted a lot of the stuff what's happening on the earth now. And I know this is a very significant time. All religions, I'm not religious, though I accept all religions. speak about this time. There's been ancient scriptures and books that have lasted the length of time that still get read today. And the native tribes have prophesied about this time now and protected certain plants that are starting to come out into the mainstream, like Pinot Blanco, like Cambo, like the grandmother, like the grandfather, is all leading to this time. So I don't think it's any coincidence that people like myself are having these callings or just wanting to try a bit of breath work or try a bit of cold water or try a bit of Reiki. I feel that there is a internal knowing that sometimes we can't fully describe it. Sometimes we can't fully understand it, but it's just there inside of us. And it's just leading us step by step into more positive ways in our life. And I feel the more that we listen to that, we become happier in ourselves, but also we allow ourselves to start to embody more of who we came here to be.
Love it, Jake. Yeah, I certainly hear that. In the modern day, in the modern age, you put a lot of clarity there, and touched very precisely on something that I think a lot of people probably subconsciously know they need to do, but don't give enough focus to, and that is listening to your inner voice, listening to your body, listening to that voice that you can't quite put the finger on what it is. We're sort of told that, being directed by outer entities, social media being a primary one, as to the things that we should be doing in the lifestyle that we should be leaving. So, yeah, really, really powerful, that man. Really, really powerful. So, as we come to the end now, Jake, as a starting point, somebody who's open-minded like myself, who is looking across into this holistic space, but what's the starting points here? What would you say are the easiest things to do that can have the biggest benefit? You talked about breath work, then you talked about Reiki a little bit earlier on. You obviously run the events as well.
Yeah, I feel breathwork and cold water, they're both free. Anyone can do them. You can fill up your bath. You can go to a reservoir. Cold water changed my life. Breathing changed my life. I'd say the starting point is to do 5 to 10 minutes breath work every day. And we always say it after a ceremony, like you come to a ceremony, a cacao ceremony, and people are wanting these profound monumental shifts, and they want to change and they want it to all happen there and then. But it's like the ceremony is the start of a new beginning, and the new beginning is committing to a practice. When you leave this ceremony, and I'm going to see you in 6 weeks or 6 months' time, did you do your breath work every day for 5 minutes? And that's where the change is for people. And as you know, bro, with a golf ball effect, you hit the golf ball a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. And where that golf ball lands in 5 years' time is going to be a completely different space. So for me, I'd invite people to come to the space. Every Thursday, we give a different breath work. And our Thursday sessions are just donational basis. If people can't afford them, then we give them away for free. If someone wants to put 20 quid in, or someone wants to put £1 in, that's fine. Put 20 grand in if you want, you know. I don't mind. But it's just wherever people are vibrationally at on their journey to what they can afford. So I'd come in on a Thursday and I'd try a breath work, and I'd try a sound bath. And then we give tools every week for free to go away and try in your own home, see which one works. And then as people start to tiptoe in, the funniest thing, like I mentioned about people's partners that have brought the partners, and one of my good friends, Andrew, I shout Andrew out, he come to the forest about 2 years ago. Total skeptic, bro. You know, he just said, look, he even said in the share circle, I've come here because the missus has dragged me here. So I've just come to just see what it's about. And now he's done his Reiki training. He's a Reiki practitioner. He's starting to come in and hold space. You know, he's always very supportive, always helping out in the space, always helping out at festivals. And then he's gone to work, and he started to bring people from his work here. He was just never a million miles away from any of this. We probably would have taken a mick out of it, called us hippies or tree huggers or nutcases or whatever it is. And they're in, and the change in their lives and all his family. And I'm just using this as an example, but there's been so many different families. Now his children are coming in. One of his teenage daughters coming in the other day and done a mind mapping course, and she after that day is absolutely flying now. And you just never know, brother, where that first step can take you. When you commit to a positive change.
100%, 100%. And just to be part of something, that's another massive thing you create over there. It's a community. And the people who talk about it very highly. Everybody's welcome. It's a real community vibe that you've created over there. So again, kudos on that, mate. So as we wrap things up, mate, going to be a little bit of a different one for you this, I think. I always ask the question to guests because I'm intrigued by sort of people's viewpoints and where they see as the most value coming from. You can sit down to dinner with 3 people, past or present, dead or alive, from any time in space. Who would you pick?
Oh, Bob Marley. I love to sit down with Bob Marley.
Legend.
I'd sit down with Yeshua, Jesus.
And you know what? That's a fantastic answer that nobody's give yet.
Yeah, it's definitely. I definitely love to sit down with Yeshua, bro.
That's your three. That's your three. Yeah, great.
No,
great
that's
answers
two.
there.
That's two.
Oh.
So Yeshua and Jesus are the same person. So that's his real name, Yeshua.
Okay.
But the
Every
other
day is a
one,
school day.
the third one, bro, would be Buddha. Yeah, I'd sit down with Buddha. Yeah.
Nice.
So Bob Marley, Jesus, and Buddha.
Nice. Great answers. And you know what? Very fitting as well. Now you've said them. I couldn't have picked who you'd chose, but I can see it in you. I can see it in you. Fantastic answers there, mate. No, I love that. Love that, Jake. Do you know what, mate? Thank you for your time, mate. Absolute legend. Some great content there. Just before we shoot, can you just let the listeners know where we can find you, mate? Where's the space? What are your social media handles? Anyone wants to get involved in any of this, where can they find you guys?
Yeah, thank you, bro. So the space is in Openshaw. It's called the Lighthouse Hub. It's on Greenside Street, just right next to Openshaw Park. And social medias for myself, my personal social is Wings of Buddha, all one word. And there's Illuminate, change the A for an A, _WW. And the Lighthouse is the _Lighthouse_hub. And yeah, I just wanted to big you up as well, bro, for your journey, all the amazing work that you're doing, the elevations, everything you're doing in the gyms, and doing such an amazing platform for people to spread, different people's gifts and knowledge and journeys and bring that out into the open, bro. So yeah, super, super grateful for you, my brother.
Appreciate that. Thank you, bro. Really appreciate that. Jay, thanks for your time, bro. We're gonna have to catch up offline as well because there's so many questions I've got leading on from this. I'm sure there'll be a part 2.
I look forward to it, bro. Thank you.